Y'all just sit back and I want y'all to take a look at an intro video for Dominic Pace. That way you can actually see some of the films and stuff that he has played in. He's an awesome guy. So y'all check it out, and here we go.
This thing wants to take us down. Fine. Let it.
Because we are going to blow this thing apart. Because we are part of the greatest military in the history of the world. The United States military. Booyah!
She said he comes out at 8 like clockwork. You lost your shooting privileges after that Indo and Van Nuys.
So what, I make one little mistake and that's it?
This one's too important for another little mistake.
Well, if you don't show soon, I'm gonna burn down this whole hillside.
It's burn up, not down.
What?
Sure, it's a nuance, but not really gonna like the place.
Now I gotta deal with semantics, too.
Shh, here he comes.
We were given orders to move him.
I understand that, but we're gonna need a couple of hours.
Okay, well, I'm sorry, Lieutenant, but we were given orders. You're a little out of your jurisdiction up here.
Sinjay? I guess I'm losing my touch. There was a time when students used to tell. I thought of my exam. And now there's no holding back. For next week's test, I guess I'll have to up the ante, eh?
No, I'm serious. There's no respect anymore. People, they lie, they steal, they cheat like there's no tomorrow.
Except after one night of going out, our whole world turned to shit. Turns out the blonde's ex was the son of some high-ranking Russian mobster, and he was looking for us. We came up through preschool together. We were raising hell. Never in a million years would I imagine it ended the way that it did.
You are a great wartime hero, adorned with flowers and people. You are nothing but an ant underneath my very boot. Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
But what's in the secret chili recipe?
Nothing this irresistible can be legal!
He ain't gonna talk.
Mr. Dominic Pace from the Mandalorian, Gekko the Bounty Hunter. What's up, guy? What's up, man?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. Hello to all your listeners. Happy to be here.
All right, man. So I got some time. I can't even begin to tell you how many questions and everything I have, and I'm sure how many questions that some of my viewers and stuff have about the Mandalorian. I mean, wow, you know?
Without question. You know, I've been a character actor for 20 plus years, but a lifelong Star Wars fan. So what I've been attributing this to is just not necessarily an acting accolade, but just sort of a childhood, a dream come true, a fan experience that is like no other, and there will never be anything like it. You know, in the 1980s, I mean, we didn't have all this social media. We had George Lucas, Steven Spielberg, Robert Zemeckis, Richard Donner, Joe Dante, James Cameron, and they touched our lives in so many ways. It was really ultimately the reason why I wanted to become an actor. So you can imagine on day one, being the fact that my first playset was a Cantina playset, stepping into a Cantina as a one-of-a-kind, unique bounty hunter, now officially touched by two Emmy-nominated designers. One is Stephen Porro, who's nominated for Best Costume Design for Episode 3 of The Mandalorian, which we are a part of, as well as Brian Sipe of Legacy Effects, who's nominated for Episode 6, working with the A-team of bounty hunters. Just amazing work. He headed up Drax for Guardians of the Galaxy. Absolute dream come true. Add to that George Lucas being on set day one. The whole experience for the past year has just been amazing, and the fans have been so supportive. You can't imagine, you know, being under a minute screen time and getting this much attention, but I can't tell you how grateful I am for everybody.
Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, and the scene was fantastic. I mean, both scenes were really good. I'm going to bring up a little picture of the scene, guys, so y'all could take a look real fast. There's a scene where he's actually standing there facing off with, I believe his name is Paul, is the character that plays the Mandalorian himself, and they're getting ready to throw down. Do have a couple people wanting to just say something to you real fast. One of them said, his name is Shooter FPV. He says, "What's up, Dominique?" Mm-hmm. And We got Broccoli FPV, which is actually a big supporter of my channel. He says, love the Mandalorian show, grew up with Star Wars. I think all of us grew up with Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, Lucas was really beyond his time, ahead of his time there. And, even this, when you have under a minute screen time, the amount of detail they put into Gekko is really sort of a compliment to Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, sort of being handed the reins from the legendary George Lucas, to where it was so much attention to detail. Sci-fi films during that time, they were viewed as just B movies, where basically, they didn't invest that much time. I think it was probably a year to set up some of those shots that Lucas did with the real, the real props and such, So it's just amazing what they've done. And again, I can't tell you what an honor it is to be a part of it, knowing that this is so special to everyone, this series, as well as to myself.
You know what? Just to see the props alone. I mean, as a Star Wars fan, everybody, Star Wars fan, they better be. Anyway, most of the people that would love just to see the set itself. Can you just give me like a description of the set?
Yeah, sure. Well, Navarro, the standoff, the cantina was pretty much a standard cantina. Anyone who goes to Galaxy's Edge would kind of have that vibe when you go into, I believe it's called Olga's Cantina there. But the set of Navarro, it was just right next to the volume, which has been obviously getting a tremendous amount of press because it's the new wave of filmmaking in terms of just this incredible level of resolution that could be completely, where the actor could be completely surrounded. This actually with the Street of Navarro, which you can see in episode 8, which is the grand finale with Giancarlo Esposito with his dark saber. You also see that in episode 3 during the standoff. The first thing that I noticed was black dirt. And I think just like any Star Wars fan, I was sort of troubleshooting as to what planet we were on. I said, it can't be Tatooine with the black dirt. It's got to be something different, right. Something unique. But that was the first feeling there as far as just coming onto set, and the fact that Dave didn't want to do all green screen like the prequels. Those were practical sets with just a little bit of green screen thrown in the back to have the Razor Crest behind me there. But again, you can imagine just so much adrenaline with Carl Weathers being, flanking Carl Weathers, Italian-American from Northeast. Who wasn't inspired by Rocky? You didn't have to be Italian or African-American.
Right.
That series spoke to everybody. But to have Carl Weathers in my ear during the standoff, plus standing off, this was basically explained to be sort of a Western, a sci-fi Western. I was standing off and squaring up next to John Wayne's grandson, Brendan Wayne, who for the majority of the time was the Mandalorian there. So, again, just a dream come true all around, not to mention getting to pick out my own blaster, my own Star Wars weapon, which has now been created 100 different times by all the fans, from people making Funko Pops to Black Series-like figures to Lego. We just hope Hasbro and all the different companies get on board to sort of make him sort of the blue snaggletooth or yak face of the Mandalorian, as I like to say. That rare character that I hope everybody wants.
Yeah. Oh man. And I've actually watched a little bit of your stuff you've been posting on Facebook. Your action figure looks phenomenal. I was checking out the action figure and I was like, dude, bro, the action figure is.
Thank you so much. We've got a couple of talks right now. We just another one that hopefully we'll hop in bed with is Geeky Tikis, which is a big collectible. Yeah. And so we're hopeful with Geeky Tikis right now, and Funko Pop might be the greatest ones to maybe bite at it. And fingers crossed, we'll do a specific tour, whether it's Geeky Tiki or Funko Pop next year, where it's exclusive, meet and greets. And again, we just finished a major tour for 6 weeks where I was able to support small business through this time that we're all going through. And we're heading back on the road in about a week, actually, to go ahead and support small business again. So it would be really 10 times larger if we end up getting that Funko Pop. And like I said, I can't tell you how grateful I am for the fan base, as well as all the charitable organizations through the Star Wars community. They've been so supportive. Again, I can't tell you how humbled I am. Again, under a minute screen time, but the Star Wars fans just never cease to amaze you in terms of there really are no small characters.
Oh, not in Star Wars. Every character means a bunch. I'm actually going to go ahead and bring up your tour. So Dominic Pace is actually running out on tour with the Gekko tour. So I'm going to click that up. As you can see right here on the screen, he's just supporting the Small Business Tour of 2020. And you can see that he has all of his dates listed there. Now, I can post that on my page as well. And you can actually go over to Dominic's Facebook page, website, or all the pages that I've listed in the description. And you'll be able to actually go in and look for yourself at his tour dates and things like that, if you can't see it, because the screen is rather small.
Absolutely, yeah. On Lair of the Gekko on Facebook, if you scroll down, I posted every event. So if there's one near your town, thanks for RSVPing, and it would be great to see you. I don't charge for selfies. I had, especially during this time, people are going through tricky times. Even during the first tour, some people would come in, they say, hey, I just want to meet you, shake your hand. I'm so grateful for everybody, especially during this time, to put a smile on people's faces. I know the amount of stress that people must be under, especially small businesses right now. So one hand washes the other, and I can't tell you how humbling it is, again, to be there for the fan base and for their appreciation for the character as well.
Yeah, it's a great character. And now, if you don't mind, I'm going to read a couple of the comments people have dropped out in here. It was an awesome series, and he wants to know if there's going to be more, and I do believe there is going to be more.
Yeah, season 2, I believe in October, November. I don't know why they haven't launched the trailer yet, but yeah, season 2, and Pedro signed on for 3 seasons, so hopefully we'll get that, and then also a nice little pickup there with Kenobi, I think 4 episodes, and then also Cassian Andor as well, and then they'll be expanding onto other series with Disney Plus there as well.
Nice. All right, and then Shooter FPV said The Mandalorian is such a true to Star Wars look and feel, and I can totally agree with that.
Yeah, the beautiful thing with Dave and John is you feel like they're one of us. Like if we were in our sandbox there when we were 5 years old, I mean, Dave and John would be our friends, and I think they get that. John had a great quote about a few weeks ago, just saying on how he'll play to the crowd that are just fair weather fans of Star Wars, but also he learned through Marvel, you want to get those little extra details, the backstories of different characters for the comic book collectors, for the toy collectors, and obviously with Star Wars, I think it's second to none in terms of the passion that the fans have throughout the world, the entire world.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I have my little brother actually lives in Monterey, and he's like, it's so incredible. He loves it. Let's see. Right now, we have another gentleman that says he might have worked with you on the Rizzoli and Isles back in my film years, and he was on the Graphers and Grip team.
Oh, that's terrific. That was a beautiful day for me. That was a series premiere, and I had a few lines. I was playing a police officer as a woman's, it's a former women's prison in East LA, but it meant a lot to me because my grandfather was just about to pass away. And I just wanted to book one more role for him. And again, my career is predominantly over, 3 or 4 lines on a lot of these major TV shows. But that one meant a lot to me. And of course, the entire cast there, Bruce and also Angie Harmon, they were so sweet there. But yeah, pleasure to have him tune in, and nice to meet him. Hopefully we'll be back on set together again soon there as well.
Right. Well, my wife actually jumped on and she reminded me, she said, my mama Laura, that's my mother, she is in love with you now ever since you sent her a happy birthday message.
Oh, no, absolutely. I can't do enough for everyone. Again, like I said, I'm from New York and LA, and those 2 cities in particular, I don't want to say are, sort of into themselves, but let's just put it this way. I mean, everybody's following their own dream in both towns. And again, for so many people to have reached out and be touched by a simple video that I can send, I don't even do Cameo. If somebody reaches out to me and says, hey, it's my sister's birthday, or my wife, or hey, I've got a kid that's a friend of ours, he's in the hospital, can you send a video? I'm just so touched by that, to be able to touch someone's day for any type of level of celebrity, to make them happy, just means so much to me.
That's awesome. I've got several people asking. Shooter FPV says he'll try to see you in Boston. He's 45 minutes from you. And,
thank you, Nick. Nick's Comics Place on September 26th from noon to 5. Thank you so much.
Let me see if I bring it up so I can show it one more time so he can see it right there. Boston and Nick's comic strip. Yep, on the September 26th. All right. Actually, in case y'all didn't realize, Dominic Pace is actually doing quite a few things in his list of stuff right now. Not only is he part of the Bounty Hunters Guild, but he is actually doing a new television series that I am very excited about. And the television series is called Anonymous Killers.
Forgive me. Yeah, that's a feature film. It's a feature film.
Oh, it is a film. That's right. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I was thinking about the other one.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, there's a TV series, a game show. It's called To Tell the Truth.
Yeah,
we'll be
let me bring that on.
This is the season finale, so there's going to be 2 episodes that night. We're in the second episode with Bob Saget and Brad Garrett. Not much of a challenge or a game for anyone to figure out. It's not that I'm a huge star now, but nobody knew who I was when we filmed it. And the game is basically guess who played the original Jason. So I don't want to give anything away, but I didn't play the original Jason. But it was a lot of fun to be there with Ari Lehman, who was the original Jason. They filmed that in Camp Novi Bosco in the middle of New Jersey, I believe in 1979. But it was a lot of fun. That'll be airing on September 3rd, this Thursday night, around, I think, 9 or 10 o'clock. But Anonymous Killers, we're really excited about. That's going to premiere on video on demand. We don't know the exact streaming services yet, but it will be video on demand, and that will be October 6th. And the one thing that I love about this film, it's a sociological thriller, but when you hear the word privilege, it touches people in different ways. And the one thing I love about this film is that no matter what side of the coin you're on, you're going to be able to walk away with from this film and have a very deep discussion with your significant others, with your friends. It's not just some saw, just of blood and guts and such. It's a lot deeper than that, especially what's going on with society today. But nothing to where they're shoving politics down your throat. It's more of just, for me personally, when you hear privilege, you can think of one of 3 things. It's one where there is such a thing. There are also people from all different walks of life who work to earn what they get. And then there's those in between, like myself, to where it's like, okay, well, there's some who maybe come from an advantage. And there's others who you say, hey, look, in order to get ahead in this country, you have to work hard. You can't commit crimes. And that's the end of the story. But you're going to have 5 stories that you hear from with that movie. I star as Romero Scarinelli, an Italian mafia hitman who's kidnapped, along with 4 other people who have killed one time or other in their life. Nobody knows each other. And they have to give a deliberation as to why they did what they did. And what's going to come out through that, again, there's a lot of societal structure. And I hope everyone can tune into that. Anonymous Killers coming October 6th.
That's awesome, man. All right, so I really appreciate you showing and talking about the Anonymous Killers, and thank you for correcting me. It's not a series.
I wish it was. It's always where the money is, but no, I don't think we can stay alive that long, or if we do stay alive, I don't think it's going to go too far more than a 2-hour film there. But it definitely serves the pop that it needs, and there's no need for a series on this one for sure.
All right, guys. So we got about 4 more minutes. If there's anybody has questions that would like to ask, I do have a couple people that has asked a couple questions, and it seems like the majority question is Baby Yoda.
Yeah. The child is a really cool story. They kept it secret from the second team actors. So what was really cool in terms of going through my head at that time was I thought it was going to be a backstory for either Rey, Poe, or Finn, because it was before episode 9. And this was right around the timeline of where Rey, Poe, or Finn, they were all babies. They were infants. So I thought it was going to be, we were trying to figure out who's Rey's parents, where's Rey from. I thought I had my blaster pointed at little baby Rey. So what a surprise that was to know that it was a $5 million puppet that has certainly taken the fan base by storm. I'm glad they kept it a secret with all sort of the negative feedback. I think some fans from Solo, from episode 8, I think if the words Disney and Baby Yoda came out before the series to see how special it was of what Dave and John did, I think that would have had a lot of negative press before the show came out. So I think they did an amazing job in terms of keeping that secret, and I'm glad they did. Yeah.
Yeah, that the Baby Yoda is, and my wife. So my wife hasn't had a chance to watch Mandalorian until just recently, and she actually watched, and she just fell in love with the Baby Yoda, and she, loved the whole thing. She liked it from beginning to end.
Yeah, they're amazing series.
2 other shows that I just want to kind of just mention, just an honorable mention. I'm a major fan of Van Helsing. And it turns out you were a stand-in for Frankenstein's monster.
Stand-in photo double with Shuler Hensley. Shuler met Hugh Jackman when they were touring with Oklahoma. As people know, Hugh Jackman is a triple, probably a quadruple threat in terms of his level of talent. The greatest thing that I walked away from with that project was just there are no big breaks. When you are around Hugh Jackman, or I was around Will Smith on Bright, I was one of the orcs. You see their work ethic for 15, 16 hours, and it's second to none. And, I go to the gym 20 minutes a day. I kind of mosey through the physical aspect of it. But it just gives you a stronger appreciation of the work ethic in all aspects from these A-listers in terms of how hard they work and the level of consistency that they bring to their craft, even on the 15th and 16th hour. Absolutely amazing, not to mention such a genuine man to meet if you ever get the chance.
Yeah, I would absolutely love to meet Hugh Jackman. I haven't ever had a chance. And I have one just huge question. What is in the secret chili recipe?
Oh! One commercial. I didn't even want to go on it. I was kicking all the way to the audition room because Santa Monica, anyone familiar with Hollywood, it was for Farmer Boys. It's a little hamburger chain out here, almost like a Whataburger out on the West Coast. I think they're located maybe in Nevada and Utah. But I played this angry New York detective. I fit that stereotype so well. And it was basically interrogating their mascot, which was a scarecrow. You can see it on my IMDb page. We definitely had a celebration of getting some chili cheeseburgers after that, and they were actually really good. But I told my agent no commercials, not due to any ego, but they call in 100, 200 people, and it's just exhausting at 45 years old to have to compete against that. For me, it's, if it's 15, 20 guys, I don't mind, but I'm not so much too busy, but I'd rather be doing an odd job than reading up against 200, 300 people.
I totally agree. Anyway, I just had to throw that out there. But looks like our time is going to be up, guys. So I just want to thank Dominic Pace for hanging out with us. And again, you can check out his tour and go see him live and meet him live. But I really appreciate you hanging out with me. And I'll talk a little bit more about the stuff after we are off with you. And well, anything else you'd like to end with?
No. Just wishing everybody a great night. Thanks for the consideration of seeing me on tour, 11 cities all throughout the country. You can check it out at Lair of the Gekko on Facebook. And wishing everybody all the health, happiness, and safety through this crazy year that we're having there.
Yeah, the understatement of the year, crazy year.
Thank you guys so much. Have a great evening.
All right. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us. And guys, thank y'all for watching. We'll see you later, Dominic. You have a great evening.
Thank you.
Thank y'all so much for hanging out through that and seeing what he's been up to and everything like that. The Mandalorian is a great series. Eric just popped in a few seconds ago, and I'm sorry that you just missed him. I hope you got the chance to see some of it. And The Mandalorian does rock. And Eric Allen, thank you so much for the comment here.
I guess this is the part we get to meet our host.
Ladies, gentlemen, killer's life. Killers who will not only decide your fate, but the fate of one another as well.
I'm not a killer.
Thank y'all for y'all's support. I appreciate it.
Mr. Scarnelli, hitman extraordinaire. And Mistress Lucy, Black Widow.
Thank you.
Rich Saints.
Wife, you brought me coffee.
Mr. Fofana. Your killings span 3 continents. Very impressive. And last, we have the sweet but not so innocent Mrs. Guntry. One by one, each of you is going to give an account what led you to embark on the life of a killer. And after the accounts have all been weighed, we shall vote.
Revenge only takes you so far.
Think of it this way. You may never get another chance to venture hate.
You know, you killed her. My mother.
I'm right about you. You like me.
You keep changing the rules because you're gonna kill us all.
Yeah, that's gonna be good. I dig that a lot. All right, that was pretty awesome. Okay, guys, thank y'all so much for hanging out with me on this. Now, we are moving into our second section of the show, and that's going to be talking about FPV and all the crazy fun stuff involved with FPV.